Ryan makes his request, but Lady Selena coldly refuses, claiming her research on magical devices is far too important to be interrupted. When Ryan asks if she is only working on simple ones, Selena laughs in his face, mocking his ignorance. Leah immediately steps in, demanding respect for her master. Selena is instantly intrigued by Leah's high magical affinity and insists she become her apprentice. The tension between them reaches a breaking point, but Ryan calmly intervenes, reminding everyone they are here to seek assistance. He shifts the focus back to the failed devices scattered across her desk. Selena admits her struggle. She is trying to create a device capable of storing her own potent electric magic, but every single prototype explodes. When she mentions electric magic, Ryan's eyes light up. He realizes he has finally found the missing piece to his technological puzzle. Ryan shocks Selena by claiming he knows how to build a stable electricity storage device. She thinks he is playing a sick joke, but Ryan remains dead serious. He offers a high-stakes deal. If he provides the method, she must help him deal with the corrupt Mage Guild. Selena agrees to the terms, though she warns that if Ryan fails, he is on his own. Ryan, secretly thrilled, pulls out the lithium battery blueprint. He plans to use the mages as human power generators until he can successfully build his own advanced hydraulic systems. Ryan quickly assembles the battery and presents it to a skeptical Selena. She fears it will blow up the moment magic touches it, but Ryan confidently assures her it is stable. He explains the battery's impressive capacity, urging her to charge it with her own raw electrical energy. Selena channels her lightning into the battery, bracing for an explosion that never comes. Ryan smiles, noting that the battery is far from full. Driven by her massive ego, Selena unleashes even more power, pushing herself to her absolute limits until she finally collapses from total exhaustion. Ryan checks the status. The battery is at 87% capacity, enough to power a vehicle for thousands of kilometers. He realizes he has found the ultimate human battery in Selena. She is stunned, having never imagined that her volatile magic could be harnessed so efficiently and safely. Selena is shocked to learn that Ryan can not only use electricity but also distribute it to the common people. She argues that magic is too difficult to master, but Ryan smiles, revealing he has blueprints for devices far more advanced than this battery to improve life for everyone. Ryan promises to revolutionize the city if Selena works with him. Meanwhile, the corrupt guild master Malcolm sits in his chambers, confidently waiting for Ryan to come crawling back for help. He is completely unaware that his former protege is already marching toward him with a plan. The atmosphere in the guild headquarters is tense. Suddenly, the chamber doors swing open and Selena walks in. Malcolm is visibly shaken, his face pale with shock, as he realizes his greatest trump card has just switched sides and is now standing right in front of him. The power dynamic has shifted instantly. Selena's presence signifies the end of Malcolm's unchallenged control. Ryan stands behind her, ready to dismantle the corrupt guild piece by piece. The final confrontation is here, and the corrupt officials are about to pay the ultimate price for their arrogance. Selena confronts Malcolm, accusing him of crossing the line by targeting Ryan. Though Malcolm tries to play innocent, Selena's intimidating pressure leaves him no room to hide. She demands a full confession regarding the sabotage at the construction site, showing him exactly what happens when she is pushed to her limit. Terrified by her aura, Malcolm finally breaks. He confesses that he manipulated the mages, claiming Ryan had disrespected them. He ordered them to create cursed crystals and use teleportation magic to bury them underground, intending to make the workers so exhausted that Ryan would look incompetent and fail. After venting his petty grievances, Malcolm begs for mercy, insisting he had no other malicious intent. Selena berates him, exposing that he has been nothing more than a pawn for others. She orders him to immediately recall the mages and undo the sabotage he caused to the project. Selena contacts Ryan to confirm that the Mage Association is now under control. She even offers to eliminate the noble Eldritch permanently, but Ryan politely declines. He has a deeper plan, intending to keep Eldritch active as bait to lure out the shadowy master pulling the strings behind the scenes. Ryan appreciates her help but keeps his focus on the mission. He urges Selena to put the mages to work charging his batteries, officially turning their aggression into his industrial gain. Selena leaves with a smile, clearly intrigued by Ryan's ambition and eager for their next collaborative project. Meanwhile, Eldritch reports the shift in the Mage Association to his masked master. The master is unbothered by Selena's interference, telling Eldritch that his priority must remain the dam project. He warns that if the dam succeeds, it will revitalize the city, which is the last thing they want to happen. Eldritch assures his master that he has already laid a secondary trap at the dam site. He has colluded with the corrupt nobles in charge of grain supplies to artificially skyrocket prices, betting that Ryan won't have enough capital to keep his workforce fed and the project running until completion. In the city market, chaos erupts as grain prices double in a single day. Lillian desperately argues with a greedy merchant, but the seller scoffs at her pleas, callously telling her to leave if she cannot afford the price. He sees this as a golden opportunity to exploit the desperate citizens for massive profit. When Lillian warns the merchant of Ryan's wrath, the merchant laughs, believing he is untouchable. He cruelly shoves Lillian to the ground to trample her. The situation worsens until Ayura hears of the price hike. Realizing the people will never survive the coming winter without a solution, Ayura decides to take drastic action, preparing a large sum of money to bribe the guards to secure grain. As her sister Iria prepares to carry out the order, she is shocked by the amount of cash involved. Just as the transaction begins, Leah appears out of nowhere to snatch the money pouch away. Ayura is stunned, but the shock deepens when Ryan himself steps out from the shadows. Leah hands the money to him, and Ryan turns to Ayura with a calm, calculating look. He asks if she is finally ready to make a deal with him, setting the stage for a new alliance. Ryan confronts the saint, Ayura, and calmly reveals he knows her secret. She and her sister are elves. Despite her initial defensive posture, Ryan cuts through the tension. He isn't here for conflict. He wants to discuss the city's collapsing food supply and his plan to stabilize the market. Ayura is skeptical, noting that for major noble families have controlled grain prices for over a century. She doubts Ryan can challenge them, citing their deep influence and past successes in manipulating the market. Ryan, however, remains unmoved by her warnings about their established power. Ryan asks for her insight, and Ayura explains that the Edwin family's recent downfall has left no room for negotiation. War and natural disasters have made food scarce, and she fears her people have no chance of surviving. Ryan makes a bold promise: grain will soon be cheaper than ever before. Elsewhere, the four heads of the most powerful families gather to toast their record-breaking profits. Their celebration is interrupted by a butler bearing a terrifying invitation. Ryan has summoned them to a banquet. Fear grips them as they wonder what lethal trap the young noble has prepared. Augustus, head of the Klein family, urges his peers to stay calm, relying on Eldritch's assurances that their price gouging is technically legal. He boasts that no one, not even the Emperor, can challenge their monopoly. They agree to stick together, confident that they are absolutely unstoppable. In a pathetic attempt to play the victim, the four lords arrive at Ryan's hall wearing ragged, dirty clothes. They intend to feign poverty and deceive him. Ryan watches them with a hidden smile, fully aware that these greedy men are walking straight into his web of manipulation. Augustus immediately tries to shift the narrative, claiming they have already donated vast sums to Ryan's dam project and are selling grain at rock-bottom prices. Leerstandsbei vliesested beitend lies, while Ryan continues to play along, feigning gratitude for their generosity. Ryan shifts the conversation to business, casually mentioning he wants to discuss the grain market. Augustus, sensing an opening, smugly replies that they are aware of Ryan's financial struggles and insists that reducing prices would be a massive, unacceptable loss for their houses. Ryan drops a bombshell that leaves the lords dumbfounded. He tells them he isn't asking for a price reduction. Instead, he commands them to raise the price of grain to 4 gold coins per sack. The lords are paralyzed by confusion, unable to process this sudden change in demand. Augustus is left speechless as Ryan doubles down on the order. Ryan then reveals his true intent. He doesn't care about their price gouging, because he plans to take a 30% commission on every single sale. He is turning their exploitation into his own primary funding source. Augustus and the other crooked merchants are convinced that Ryan is just like them, a cunning player seeking profit. They are relieved to have his official backing for the grain price hike. Fearing betrayal, Augustus warns his cohorts to keep this deal strictly secret to maximize their upcoming windfall. Ryan warns them that any disobedience will result in the same fate as the disgraced Edwin family. The merchants laugh, confident in their plan to corner the market. Meanwhile, Augustus orders his group to buy up all remaining grain from smaller traders before the official price hike goes public. The next day, the saintly Ayora storms into Ryan's office, furious over his collusion with the corrupt merchants. She is ready to sever ties, but Lillian intervenes, begging her to trust Ryan's long-term plan. Ayora remains skeptical, unable to understand why he would force such suffering on the poor. Ayora condemns the price hike to 4 gold coins, warning that the starving citizens will die. Ryan coldly counters that whether it costs 2 coins or for the desperate people will starve regardless. His true objective is not to lower the price, but to orchestrate the total financial ruin of the merchants. 7 days later, prices have skyrocketed to 7 gold coins per bag. Ayora returns, absolutely livid, demanding an explanation for the ongoing chaos. Ryan smiles, checking his calendar. The trap is finally set. He tells her it is time to deliver the final, crushing blow to the greedy traders. Ayora threatens to cut all ties unless Ryan explains his madness. Ryan finally reveals the truth. He kept her in the dark so her public anger would appear genuine, ensuring the suspicious nobles wouldn't detect his scheme. He asks her one simple question: what does the city truly lack right now? Before she can answer, Ryan reveals his masterstroke. The city is currently paralyzed because there isn't a single merchant left who is actually willing to sell grain. By buying up all the stock to hoard it, the greedy merchants have effectively cut off their own supply lines. Ryan explains that the market hasn't just inflated, it has completely frozen. With no grain hitting the stalls and the merchants holding onto worthless, overpriced stock, the entire system is ready to implode. The trap is about to spring, and the merchants have no exit strategy left. The merchants celebrate their success, unaware that their warehouses are filled with grain they can no longer sell. Ryan watches from the shadows, knowing that the moment he releases his own reserve, their assets will plummet in value, leaving them with nothing but heavy debts. Ayora is stunned as the reality of Ryan's tactical genius sinks in. He hasn't just played the market. He has weaponized the merchants' own greed against them. She finally understands that his cruelty was actually a surgical strike to cleanse the city of its most predatory parasites. The game is reaching its finale. The revolution in the grain market has officially begun, and there is no turning back.